All right, my beautiful friends, here we are. Today, Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018. Before I even get started here, I'm going to make a suggestion to you. You won't believe this, and I really want you to look at this. In the description of this video is a link to my website, traderschoice.net. Right side of the page under the chat room is the bond market chart. There is such an epic amount of bond buying going on right now. You sincerely will not believe it. And if you don't wear a pair of sunglasses when you look at that chart, your eyeballs may actually explode. Seriously. Actually, they won't explode, but it's crazy. You got to look at this. Now, I want to put a little light on what's going on here. And there's all kinds of speculation about what this might mean. I want to talk about that too. Let's start off with this. Stocks opened down. The Dow Jones Industrial Average about 400 points. As I am doing this video blog, still down about 360 points. Have no idea what's going to go on here today. This might be the worst of it. This might not be the worst of it. They might find a way to prop this up. Now, being that I just covered, there is an off the Richter scale amount of bond buying going on right now. This has pushed the 10-year yield lower, 3.127, just about. It's incredible. What a huge move. But again, as cash is moving into the bond market, yields become suppressed. This is what's been going on now for an entire decade. Federal Reserve, world central banks doing the same thing. This has allowed cash to flow into the stock market. Now, what we're seeing here in the stock market's got a lot of people shook up. No, don't get shook up about this at all. Stocks will do this. This is not abnormal at all. People just aren't used to seeing this kind of thing. There's no reason to panic, in my opinion. Right now. Why? Look at the bond market again. There's nowhere else for investors to go. However, with that said, I'm not completely convinced that the action in the bond market today is just another, attempt to prop up the bond market. We see this over and over and over and over and over and over again. It just doesn't stop. They prop up that bond market. It props up stocks. This might be, at least in part, a legitimate safety play. Now, why would I say that? Because not only is cash moving into the bond market here, suppressing rates, cash is moving into risk-off assets like precious metals. All right? You can't just always look at one thing. You got to look for like a confirmation. You know what I'm saying when you're looking at this stuff? But again, stocks will do what they're doing now. And a lot of this, understand, unfortunately, people in the United States, most of them, they live in a box. The news outlets don't allow them to know what's going on around the world. This is done on purpose to keep them stupid. But you and I, we understand. Look, we're supposed to be in some kind of a really great economic environment. We've been told for years now that the global economy is improving. This is just not true. The global economy is probably peaked last year. And we're seeing kind of some fallout now. We get a lot of gyrations in the emerging markets. You're well aware of that. There's all kinds of geopolitical things going on here. This is going to weigh on the markets. And the debt crisis, the entire world is in a debt crisis right now. No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to admit it. But that's the truth. So, again, we are going to hit that wall at one point here. But we're going to see the big one being reflected in the bond market first, not the stock market. 400 points falling off of a Dow Jones Industrial Average that's 25,000. Really, honestly, big freaking deal. Big freaking deal. Is it really that big? If this were down, I don't know, a couple of thousand points, maybe I would say, hold on a minute, this is nothing right now. Doesn't mean it's not going to end the day that way, but again, it's so easy Just watch the bond market. I got it all set up for you, like on my website, traderschoice.net. Just watch what's going on there. Chances are this: if there's an epic amount of bond buying like there is now, that's going to put a floor under stocks. Not saying that we might not end the day down 500, 600, 700 points, but it's going to prevent a massive sell-off. And stocks are going to move around. They're going to definitely do this. Don't let this get you shook up. And just stay calm. Don't get like these COD members. They're like, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What's the narrative today? How are we going to spin this? Well, you know how they're going to spin it. We already heard it. It's unbelievable. We already know that stocks are in a bubble, built on the back of the debt bubble. And they cannot tell you, this is insane, that stocks are overvalued. Stocks are, according to the COD, overinvested. And I covered this yesterday. It puts a spin on it. If they say stocks are overvalued, people are going to run for the hills. If people say stocks are overinvested, people themselves will take oh my goodness, I overinvested in the stock market. What should I do? Oh, it's my fault. You understand? That's what they do. It's a twisting of your brain cells. Seriously. All right, with that said, let's see how this day plays out today. Don't panic. I might even add some of my long positions today. I don't even know. We'll see. This should not have you shook up at all. And why? Because the bond market is giving us a big signal right here. I mean, please have a look at this. I want to hear what you have to say about this. Look at that bond market chart on my website. Right underneath that is the dollar chart. But the real big one you want to look at is the bond market. When I tell you there's a candlestick like this big, you will not believe it. You probably have never seen anything like that before. In fact, my eyeballs almost exploded when I looked at it this morning. I'll see you at the end of the day. Just lovely.